Come get your first look at the 4 new Warhammer Skirmish warbands for Age of Sigmar.
Spiky bits.
What's happening, hobby maniacs? It's Baer with you again today, checking out these 4 new box sets, little mini warbands for Age of Sigmar's new Skirmish version, of course, coming out this weekend here towards the end of May. It's Memorial Day. It's time to get some gaming in, some barbecues. I don't even know. It's going to be fun. So besides these 4 boxes, they also have the Sigmarite Mausoleum that came out, along with the Skirmish rules. Very small pamphlet, $10 retail on that themselves that's out. So if you want to get in this game and you don't have any of these models already for Age of Sigmar, well, you can pick up one of these $65 retail box sets. Any of these 4 right here will do, and they'll get you up and running at a significant discount, actually. We broke down the discounts for these and just breaking it all down. Some are winners when it comes to saving money, and some are, well, not as good of a deal. I won't say losers, because the lowest savings on one of these is 25% off retail, which is pretty awesome when you figure that a lot of stores out there are already giving a discount. So hey, more discount is more better, I think that's proper English. Not exactly sure, but we'll go with it. So we'll start out with the Stormstrike Eternal Hammerstrike Brethren, I want to say this is. Now this is one of the, I want to call this a hybrid box here, because this one contains some of the push fit, I guess they call it easy to assemble on Games Workshop site, kits. There's the Knight Questor, which came from Silver Tower, the very first Silver Tower. And then the previous box of 3 prosecutors, now these guys come in a box of 5 for $75, but the previous box was the same models for $60 for 3. So they give you a little bit better deal these days if you buy them in a 5, but they kind of reverted to their old first release status back in August of 2015 here, so you can kind of get a better look at what comes in the box. Now, we've reviewed the majority of these models, I want to say, here on the stream at some point. I definitely know we've done these guys here, but you can kind of see what's going to come in each box. So you get the easy to assemble is what they call it. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. These came out when they rebooted Sigmar back last year, 2016 in the summer. Here you can see the Retributor sprue, which is going to give you 2 sprues of hammer dudes right here. And this is, you might remember this artwork that they came with it, and it's going to give you a very easy to assemble guide right here, which is very cool. Now these guys are great in game. You definitely want to think about taking them. And then the Liberators as well, same deal. The easy to assemble, aka push fit models right there. Now both of these go for $15 retail, and then of course the Prosecutors, which are the full multi-part kit. So you get 2 identical non-sergeant kind of models, and then you get the sergeant kind of model that has the axe, but they all have the options for the tridents. Actually, I thought they all had the options for the tridents, but now I look at this and I'm not so sure. I guess you can only take 1 trident, 1 of the big swords, or 1 of the axes per 3. I'll have to review my rules, because I thought everyone could have the whatchamajigger now, the trident with the new Stormcast Eternal box, and then of course the separate shields here, all their wing assemblies, these bad boys right here. So you can use these extra shields if you want as a mirror shield. If you've got a Dracothon sprue, those are always great. And then because you don't necessarily want to spend the big money to buy the Dracoth kit when you get one in the starter, but you just need an extra shield just to make them a little bit better in combat. And then the Knight Questor right here, which is the same one that came in the Silver Tower set all those years ago. So like I said, this kit right here normally goes, well, all 4 of the kits go for $65, and this one breaks down to a total retail value, if you buy it new on sprue or new in box off Games Workshop site, you are looking at $115 retail. So this is one of the big winners. This is 43% off right off the gate. If you get a discount on this at your local game store, which a lot of places are doing now with the advent of the web cart sales, well, you might be able to get it at least 15% off. Next up is the Khorne Bloodbound Frenzied Gore Trap. Dun dun dun. And this one, again, it has a couple of easy to assemble models in here. The Blood Warriors kit from back in the day. When I say back in the day, that was last summer for the 2nd reboot, or the relaunch of Age of Sigmar. And the Blood Wraths, and one of the Eternal, what is this guy? The Eternal Deathbringer, Exalted Deathbringer with Spear. So there you can see how they're assembled there. how they look on the sprues. Now, in-game, I actually don't know. I mean, Blood Warriors are a good choice. They have the Punchy Fist, the Gore Fist thing, which will reflect hits of 6. I think does it back to the enemy and provides a mortal wound on a 6, I believe it is. So there's that sprue right there. Gonna get you an idea of what comes in there. That's the small, easy to assemble, aka push fit that we talked about right there. So very easy to go together. That is a $15 kit. Then you've got the Eternal Deathbringer himself. Now this guy has been around for a while. I want to say, I forget what he was first in, but he was first in something, and then they came out with a kit for him right here, and he looks very simple to assemble. Oh, that's right, this was one of the alternate models. They had already had a Deathbringer, and then it came out with some new ones for the launch of Age of Sigmar. I think that's what that was. So this guy might be 2 years old. What's he say on the sprue here? 2016. Nope, I digress. So this one came out about the same time as the relaunch of Age of Sigmar with the General's Handbook, and he goes for, I want to say he goes for 30. Survey says goes for 30. Yep. And then of course the Wrathmonger, aka Skull Reapers kit right here, the multi-part kit. Now these did come out with the initial launch. Actually, these came out before. These came out with the end times, I want to say. These precede Age of Sigmar, but they were right about the same time enough that I think a lot of folks get them confused. What's the date on these sprues? No date? Absolutely no date on these sprues. Oh my. Nope, 2014. So yep, they definitely precede Age of Sigmar, and you can see all the great options on here for whether you want to give them those crazy flailing chain axes or the ginormous two-handed halberd axe kind of thing right there. And there's the other sprue there, the upgrade sprue. So overall, in the scheme of hobby dollars, these all add up to 102 retail MSRP if you buy them all separately. That is 36% savings over the normal price, and of course, again, if you get them at a discount, you can save significant cash right there. Flesh Eater course, Night Feast Hunters, you get a box of Crypt Ghouls and a box of the Crypt Horrors. I want to say those are Crypt Horrors. Yep, Crypt Ghouls and Crypt Horrors, the ghouls being the little ones, the horrors being the big ones. So you can actually build these 2 different ways right here. Actually, I thought you could. Are those not? No, I'm thinking of Vargeist. No, those are the Vargeist. Okay, so you can build them as Vargeist. Cool. So these are actually really neat. Depending on how you're building your Night Haunts or Flesh Eaters Court army in Age of Sigmar, there's a couple different ways you can go. You can go with the Reanimates, or you can go with these guys. With the wings, one's better in hand-to-hand, one and faster, one's just better and more resilient, so you kind of got to go with your build there, depending on how you do it. Both are incredibly annoying to play against, let me tell you. And then 2 sprues of the Crypt Ghouls, and we've seen these guys around for years and years and years and years. Of course, they're first part of the Undead Army back in the normal Warhammer days, which I can't find the copyright on. I'm actually not sure we ever unboxed these on stream, because I'm not sure I was doing videos back then, but I want to say these are from the mid 2000s. Nope, I can't tell. There's no copyright on the sprue. That is really interesting. I will have to investigate further, because I'm almost wondering why there's no identifying marks on the sprues whatsoever. That's really crazy. So take a look at this. There's no part numbers. There's just a part number, but not part numbers. There's no identifying marks, no copyright, no nothing on the sprue whatsoever. That is very peculiar for a Games Workshop product. No numbers, no nothing. Huh. Let's see how they say to put them together. Well, they give you parts, but there is definitely no parts listed on the sprue. Huh. I've never seen anything like that before in my whole life. Maybe this is just a miscast sprue, or something out of the ordinary for sure. But I'm not going to spend much time on it. So these are the only 2 kits that come in the Flesh Eaters Court. So of course the savings isn't going to be as great. $87 retail for this bad boy right here, which leads you to a 25% discount. Obviously the weakest of all 4 box sets. Now again, I won't say that's bad, because any discount you get off Games Workshop is always good. And I saved what may quite be the very best for last. The Weird Knob Warband, the Iron Jaws, of course. These guys are the highest value box they have in here. They add up to $136 altogether. Now, this combines elements of new Age of Sigmar models, along with the existing Ard Boys, which used to be your orc, your standard orc black, your black orcs right here from back in the day. In Warhammer Fantasy days, these kits have been around for years and years and years and years. Don't really need to get into them. They're a great troop choice. But if you're going Iron Jaws, you definitely want to consider taking Brutes. Pound for pound, point for point, Brutes are brutal on the tabletop. I play a very brutal hand-to-hand army in Age of Sigmar. And let me tell you what, I do not want to get caught flat-footed by these guys running across the table. They are amazeballs in close combat, and the speed with which you can take them via Destruction Army, at least in match play for Age of Sigmar, is pretty ridiculous getting across the table. So here you can see you've got one of the sprues, two of the sprues, three of the sprues. Now they have this claw thing, and I forget what the name of it is when it comes to their options. I guess I suppose I could look in the instructions that are in here. The Jagged Gore Hackers, I think, are their standard, but the Brute Choppers are just their normal thing. But the thing you want to look out for, the Gore Chopper is this bad boy right here. This does a lot of damage. But the thing you really want to look out for is the Boss Claw. That is force to hit, 3s to wound, neg 1 Ren, 2 damage. Brute Smasher is neg 2 Ren, D3 damage. But remember, you got a ton of attacks with these right here. Once you get to squad, you can roll up on people. It's just crazy. And you can duff up the big thing, because if you reroll failed to hit rules for an Orc Brute, if the target has a wound characteristic of 4 or more, which I guess might be my major issue, because I always have 4 or more when I'm playing Beast Claw Raiders, so I guess that's why I might struggle so much playing against these guys. And then here's the Shaman, which is a 2-part kit for $33, excuse me. So Ard Boys $53 box, this guy $33 box, Brutes $50 box, all adds up to $136. $65 retail, you're looking at a 52% discount, not counting if you get another 25% off. You can bring that down significantly, down around the 60 to 65% off total net savings right there. So great bunch of releases for Age of Sigmar if you're looking to just get some Age of Sigmar stuff on the cheap, or perhaps you just want to, I don't know, get into this new skirmish game. These are 4 great ways to do it besides buying the $10 book, which again I think is a tremendous value. Now, if you like our video features here, make sure you subscribe to us and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to comment and or like our videos. Head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.